Welcome to Waidsum University. Today we're looking at the VPN lab, VPN laboratory. What are the things we need to do in VPN laboratory? Okay, so without much ado, let's begin. Now, VPN lab, let's take a look at this example. Here, we're going to be configuring a site-to-site IPsec VPN using the pre-shared keys. Now we have the router from the Internet Service Provider. This is a gateway router from the Internet Service Provider. And then we have two remote routers, router 2 and router 3. Okay. Now these two routers, they are connected, they are coming from this router 1. Okay. And then these two is the two we are going to configure. Remember, this is just an Internet Service Provider. So whatever we are configuring between router 2 and router 3, they're going to be like via router 1. Going to be the gateway will be via router 1. So we're going to take a look at and these are the routes. Okay, remember this router 2, the IP address from the frame relay, this is through a frame relay. Okay, the essence of a VPN is to call the frame relay, use the Ethernet, and create a tunnel through the Ethernet. Okay, but if you take a look at the gateway from router 1 to router 2, it's via the frame relay. And that IP address is 192.168.1.191.2. And then from router Y itself, it's 192.168.191.1/24. Okay, so 191.1 and 191.2. So these are the two IP addresses from serial interface 0/0 for this gateway. And then here to the network, the LAN, you have the fast Ethernet 0/0, 192.168.0.1/24. So from this router, you go to the local area network. Okay, so for this router 3, which is a different location, site location, you can see the gateway is 192.168.192.1. Okay, not 191 in this regard. You see here was 191, here is 192. And similarly here, 192.2. So you can see the relationship between these two gateways from this router to this place, to this router. And this is the fast Ethernet to the network, to the local area network, 192.168.200, okay, .1. This .0.1, this .200.1 to the LAN. So we're going to use as an example. So you just watch. Let's see what we're going to do in the lab. Now this is the Internet Service Provider's router, okay? These are the two gateways that are available, 192.168.191.1/24. This is the gateway to router 2, and this is the gateway to router 1, 192.168.192.1. Okay, here is 192.1, here is 191.1. So there are two IP address, two gateways to this router 2 and router 3. And let's take a look at the specification for this. What we need to configure for router 1 in the lab. The host name. Host name is router 1, okay? Then the interface is 0/0. The interface for this first one is 0/0. You can see the interface 0/0, okay? We configure the interface 0/0. And then the IP address is 192.168.191.1. So this is the IP address. We configure the IP address, okay, for this gateway. Configure the IP address for this gateway, 192.168.191.1, which is here. Look at it here. The serial, first of all, we name this, we configure the serial interface 0/0, then we configure the IP address 192.168.191.1/24. Okay. Is it that we use this 24 or we give the subnet mask? Either we say /24 or we give the subnet mask. And the subnet mask is 255.255.255.0. Okay. Then the encapsulation frame relay, meaning it's going to go through a frame relay. Okay, this one, putting this encapsulation frame relay, meaning this gateway or this gateway and interface is going to go through a frame relay. So that's what we configured. That's what we configured for this first gateway of the Internet Service Provider that is going to router 2. Okay, then we say interface serial 0/1. Now we want to configure the second interface for this same Internet Service Provider that is going to router 3. So we say interface serial 0/1. See, this one was 0/0. Here we're now configuring 0/1 interface serial 0/1. This is the one going to router 3. We want to configure the interface and the IP address going to router 3. Now, what is the IP address? We said the IP address is 192, look at it here, 192.168.192.1. You see, 192.168.192.1/24. 24 means we put the subnet. Either you use /24 or you put the subnet, which is 255.255.255.0. Now we also configure the route, the IP route, where it's going to go through, each of these, where they're going to go through. Now the IP route for this one is 192.168.0.0. Okay, .0.0. This is the IP route. It's going to follow 192.168. Then we put the subnet at 255.255.255.0. So we say, and then 192, the gateway of where it's going, 192.168.1.2, meaning it's going to this, land in this IP address. It's going to land in this IP address. It's going to land in this IP address, meaning this router, this gateway that is going to router 1, this one. It's going to land in the IP address, this one. It's going to land here in this IP address, which is 192.168.191.2. It's going to land here. It's going to reach here. So whatever is coming from this Ethernet service provider is going to go to router 2 and land in this IP address and this serial same with this same serial interface 0/0. Okay, so that's what that one is. Now, similarly for the other gateway, we say the IP route. If you route through 192.168.200, meaning it's going to land in 200. You see the 200. If you look at here, you see the 200. 192.168.200. It's going to route through this router 3 and enter this network through this interface. Okay, so it's going to pass 192.168.200.0, where we put the subnet 255.255.255.0. Then we put the IP address through which it will enter the network, 192.168.192.2. We put the IP address through which it will enter the network. Okay, the IP address through which it will enter the network. This is the network address that is going to. This is the network local area network address that it will go into. This is the local area network address that it will route through. For this first interface, this is the one it will route through. Okay, each of them follow with their subnet mask. Each of them follow with their subnet. And this is the local area network. This is the gateway through which it will enter this local area network. This is the gateway, the router's IP address through which it will enter this network address. And similarly for the second interface, this is the IP address through which it will enter this local area network. Is that okay? So let's move on. So this is the still on the lab work. So we want to configure for router 2. We've done for router 1. Now for router 2, we're going to do what we call the set pair. We're going to do the set pair. We connect router 2 and router 3 together. We're going to connect in the configuration of the VPN. We're going to connect router 2 and router 3 together. So let's start with the host name router 2. The host name is router 2. So we write crypto ISA KPN. Remember, these are key IKE. These are, anytime we say this ISA KPM, we're talking about the key proposal. We want to define all the IKE proposals. We want to define all the IKE proposals. Is that okay? So we want to define the IKE policies or proposal, whatever you call it. So we say crypto ISA KPM policy 100. We define that. The authentication is pre-share. The authentication we're using is a pre-share. Okay, is the pre-share one. So we type that. The crypto ISA key, we put the key, which is Cisco 1234. This is the key, the password. Okay, this is the key. Then the address, we put the address. Which one are we typing in for? 192.168.192.2. So meaning where it's going to go. Although this is not for router 2, this one is a gateway for router 3. Because we want to create a tunnel between router 2 and router 3. Okay, so we put the router 3 gateway. Okay, we're telling router 2 to be able to tunnel through to router 3. Then we put the crypto IPsec transform set. What is our IPsec transform set? My set encapsulating security payload. That's what we're going to use. That's the protocol we're going to use. And then the encryption is the data encryption standard. So encapsulatory security payload is the protocol on the tunnel and using the data encryption. So when you put mindset, encapsulated security payload, and data encryption standard, you have defined the transform set. You have defined part of the transform set. Now we continue. We have to define the mind map, the crypto map. So we said the crypto map, mind map, 110 IPsec ISA KPM. So here, once you type this, you define the crypto map, and you've named it to be mind map. That's why you've named it. And 110 IPsec ISA KPM. So you're saying it should work with this IPsec ISA KPM that has been defined. This key proposal that has been defined should work with the crypto map. Okay, you remember the crypto map is used for the interface, the outgoing interface. There we set the peer now. Set peer, you put the peer IP address 192.168.192.2, which is actually, although you are working on router 2, this IP address is for router 3. So you are telling router 2 to pair with router 3, okay, and create a tunnel between router 2 and router 3. So this is what you're doing here. When you type this, okay, you set the transform set mindset. This transform set, you've named it to be mindset. Mindset is the transform set, you've named it. Match address 120. Then you put the interface serial for router 2. Now we set the router 2 configuration, the router 2 interface. You say serial 0/0, serial 0/0. The IP address, we put the IP address of router 2. What's the IP address of router 2? 192.168.191. See, look at it. 192.168.191.2. See, .2. And then this 24 is defining the subnet. So it's either you write /24 or you put 255.255.255.0. Then encapsulating frame relay. This one meaning is going to pass through a frame relay, okay? This router 2 is passing through a frame relay. So you put that. Then the crypto map, mind map. You type crypto map, mind map. Use the crypto map, mind map. The IP route is going to follow through this route to 192.168.191.1. So it's going to go through this. Okay, router 2 will reach this, the internet service provider. And then, before it goes to router 3. And then you define your access list, 120 permit IP 192.168.0.0. You put the subnet 0.0.0.255, and then to go to router 3, which is 192.168.200, the network, the local area network of router 3. So you define that network of router 3. I put the IP address. Say it should connect, they should synchronize, and a tunnel should be created to them. So these are examples. When you create all of this that we are highlighting, then you're creating a tunnel between router 2 and router 3. Similarly, we're going to look at that of router 3 after looking at the router 2 one. Same thing we do for router 3, okay? Same thing we do for router 3. Now let's take a look at the router 3. Similarly, same thing we just did for router 2. Here, we put the host name router 3, crypto, we put the crypto ISA KPM policy 100, authentication pre-share, crypto ISA KPM key, you put the key Cisco 123, that's the password. You put the IP address 192.168.191.2. You see, this address, this IP address was not actually for router 2, it's for router 3. It's not actually for router 3, it's for router 2. So what you succeed in doing is you're saying router 3 should share with router 2. Okay, router 3 should share with router 2. If you look at the IP address of router 2, is 192.2. Here is 191.1, which is router 2 address. This is router 2 address, this one, arrow 2. So I put arrow 2 here. I put arrow 2 here. So what you succeed in doing is that there should be a pair between this router 3. Look at this is router 3 address. This is router 3 address. So you are saying router 3, which ends with 192.2, should pair with router 2, which ends with 191.2. They should pair. So you created that. And then you follow with crypto IPsec transform set, my map, and my set. My set is for the transform set, my map is for the crypto map. Okay, then you follow it with the protocol and the encryption. The protocol, because when you put transform set, it goes with the encryption algorithm and the protocol and every other thing that follows. Now we say crypto map, my map, 110 IPsec ISA KPM. Then you put the set. What is the set? PS? The 192.168.191.2. That's the peer. The peer is what? Router 2. Remember, you are configuring router 3. You are asking it to pair with what? Router 2. You are asking router 3 to pair with router 2. So that's what you're doing. Then you put the set transform set, my set, and match the address. And then you put the interface serial 0/1. In this case now, the interface is not serial 0. Now we want to configure everything for router 3. After you've defined where it's going to go, who is going to pair with, now you define everything for router 3. You say the interface is 0/0. You can see the interface 0/0 for router 3. After that, you put the IP address 192.168.192.2, which is for this IP router 3, 192.168.192.2, and then /24 means 255.255.255.0. Then you put the clock rate 6,000, okay, the time, and then you put the crypto map, which is my map, and then you put the route where it's going to follow through 0.0.0.0.0. You put the address 192.168.191.1. It's going to go through this this gateway, okay, and then you put the access list 120 permit IP address 192.168.200, the local area network that this one is going to is from, okay, is from, and where it's going to go to is from this 200 168.200, and it will route all the way to 192.168.0.0, which is on router 2. So it's moving from router 3. It will move from router 3 network all the way, router 3 network, all the way to router 2 network. So it's going to move all the way to router 2 network. So this is what we've configured, and this is what we've succeeded in doing. Okay, now let's move on quickly. Let's move on. We've already talked about all of this. Let's move on. Okay, now let's go to what we call verify the VPN configuration. Okay, so one of the things we do after all of this, you clear the Crypto Security Association. And to do that, you say router 2 hashtag clear crypto essays. When you say clear crypto essays, and also router 2 hashtag clear crypto ISA KPM, then you're going to clear everything from what you have done, okay? And it will display here. Now, another one is verify the VPN configuration. Verify that the IPsec essays have been cleared. So what command do you need to type? Router 2 hashtag show crypto IPsec essays. So when you put this, it will show you what you have configured, what you've put, and what is left. Okay, let's move on. You can see here 00, meaning there are no more. 00, declared. Okay. Now let's go to verify the VPN configuration. What command you use? Router 2 ping. Use the ping command. So you put the target IP address and the source IP address, and everything will be out. Is that okay? Now let's go to verify the VPN configuration after the extended ping. You verify, then here you verify the IPsec essays. So what command do you need? You say router 2 hashtag show crypto IPsec essays. Then here it's showing you the encryption, encapsulation, that's the protocols and the encryption, the encryption algorithm that has been used. So here is verifying what you have, what has been for the IPsec essays that has been established for this network. Okay. Now let's go to the big deal of today, which is configuring the IPsec VPN using the Cisco Configuration Professional. Okay, that's the big deal for today. Configuring the IPsec VPN using what we call the Cisco Configuration Professional. Now we're going to start with the wizard first, the CCP wizard, which is called the Cisco Configuration Professional Wizards. Now, Cisco wizards, they're available in CCP for three major tasks. One is to auto-detect misconfiguration and propose how to fix this kind of misconfiguration when they occur. That's one use of the wizard. Another use of Cisco Wizard is to provide strong security and verify configuration entry every configuration you've made. Another use of this wizard, Cisco Wizard, is they use device and interface specific defaults. So these are three major uses of this Cisco Wizard. But let's begin to look at the CCP Wizard itself. Example of CCP Wizard include one. Example of CCP Wizard includes the Startup Wizard for initial router configuration. We have the Startup Wizard for initial router configuration. We have the wizard for local area network and wide area network. And then we have the policy-based firewalls and access list management. So we have a wizard for configuring the policy-based firewalls and access lists, okay, to configure any firewalls that we want. Then we have a wizard for intrusion prevention system. We have wizard for site-to-site VPN configuration. We have wizard for router lockdown. Okay, so we have wizard for all of this that we mentioned: LAN, WAN, firewalls, intrusion prevention system, VPN, which is the one that we are concerned with, and then the security audit. We have wizard for auditing the security architecture in our network security. Now let's move on to looking at the VPN configuration page. First and foremost, this is how the page looks like in CCP, that the Cisco Configuration Professional. What we do when we open this, we click on configure. Okay, once you click on configure, we have home, configure, and monitor. These are by default in your home page. So you click on the configure, and then since we are doing VPN, you go to security. Once you click on configure, you see all this interface. So you go to security. Once you click on security, then you go to VPN. So you go to VPN. So once you click on VPN, you have either create a VPN, a site-to-site VPN, or edit a site-to-site VPN. So in this first case, we're going to be creating a site-to-site VPN. Later, we'll talk about editing the site-to-site VPN to test the tunnel and every other thing that we have created. But in the first instance, we're going to be clicking on the creating the site-to-site VPN. So the wizard for VPN includes types of VPNs and the subcomponents that we're going to create. VPN implementation subtypes vary based on the VPN wizard that we have chosen. So usually we click on the create the site-to-site VPN instead of edit the site-to-site VPN. And then we click on launch. Once we've done all of that, we click the launch whatever we have done. So this is the interface, the configuration interface. Now we're going to go through them step by step. Now still on the VPN configuration page, once you click on the VPN and you see site-to-site VPN, we have the SSN VPN. Now under the SSN VPN, first of all, we have what we call the VPN. We have the VPN design guide, site-to-site VPN, easy VPN remote, whatever. You know, we have to type site-to-site VPN and the remote access VPN. So all of and the server, VPN server. So all of these fall under the wizard. This is the job of the wizard VPN. The VPN wizard that it will do for you. Then we have the SSL VPN. Here, this is where we define the set parameters for the VPN. And then we have what we call the get VPN. That's where you get the parameters from. And then we have the parameter includes your IPsec and the keys, IKE. So these are the various parameters. Individual IPsec components used to build the VPN. Includes all the IPsec and the keys, okay, the key policies and the pre-share key and all of this. All this one together, these two combined together, they include what we call the IPsec components or the IPsec parameters. Okay, here in the end here we have the VPN server parameters, the server, because you also configure the server, the VPN server parameters and the keys, VPN password, where you put the keys, okay. So all of these are things we're going to do. Now, but we're going to look at them one after the other. So we started with the first type of VPN, which is the site-to-site VPN components. So we're going to look at the site-to-site VPN components. VPN wizard use two sources to create a VPN connection. One of it is the user input during the step-by-step wizard process. We input the whatever we need to do during the step by. We have the quick wizard where everything is done for like click, click, click. You just click, 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 everything is done for you. where you have the step-by-step impute process, where you have to impute what you want into the wizard, and the wizard will do it for you. That's what we call the step-by-step impute process. And we have the pre-configured VPN component, which is the quick VPN. It's already like pre-configured. You just click, and it's done for you. Then the second thing we do after doing the wizard configuration is the side-to-side VPN. In the side-to-side is for us to do the CCP. CCP provides some default VPN components, such as the IPsec transform set for quick wizard setup. If you're doing quick wizard setup, everything is already there, just for you to click. Other components are created by the VPN wizard, such as the two IKE policies. You're going to create these two IKE policies, okay, if you are doing the step-by-step. Some components, for example, the PKI, must be configured before the wizard can be used. You have to configure the PKI even before we can use the wizard. Is that okay? Now, let's quickly take a look at the VPN configuration page again, like we're starting it again. Like I said, we click on configure, and then we go to security. We click on security, we select the VPN. Because when you click on security, you can have VPN, you can have firewalls, you can have IPS, that's intrusion prevention, you can have IDS, you can have so many things, other security. Okay, you can have even this antivirus, whatever you want to call it. You can have all of these malicious, whatever. You can have all of them in the security. So, but we are dealing with the VPN, virtual private network. So you click on the virtual private network. Then the next one, you go to site to site. It will open site to site. So when you click on VPN, look at here is VPN. When you click on VPN, other security, there are many things other security. When you click on VPN other security, it will open the site to site for you. Site to site VPN. Okay, so you click on the site to site VPN. Once you do that, it will open this page for you. Create site to site VPN or edit site to site VPN. So you click on create. You click on this create site to site VPN. Okay, when you click on create site to site VPN, you click launch the selected task button and select the VPN tag. So you click on launch. Once you click on launch the site to site VPN, to take us to the next page, which means your work is done for you to start configuring whatever you need to configure. Now we have two ways of doing this setup, the wizard setup for VPN. We have the quick setup, and we look at the step-by-step. The quick setup, almost everything is already there for you. Just click. For example, in the quick setup for CCP, the Cisco Configuration Professional, and you want to do a quick setup for a site-to-site VPN wizard. So you see the site-to-site VPN, right? Then here, you click on the quick setup. Just click on quick setup. Not the step-by-step. Like I said, we have the quick setup wizard, we have the step-by-step wizard. So if you want the quick setup, you click on there, you click here, not here. If you click here, you're going to key everything that you need to enter by yourself for the wizard. But if you click quick setup, everything is already pre-created. Then once you click on quick setup, you go to next. You go to next in your Cisco listing. So still on quick setup, you look at here, serious 0/0/0/0. Okay. Then the next thing we have is the peer with static IP address. All these are already there by default. Then enter the IP address of the remote peers, 200.1.1.1. That's it. Then the pre-shared key with the keys and everything you just put in this interface. Fast Ethernet, that's the interface to the local area network, 0/0. Then the destination IP address, you put it here. Okay. Once you do that, authentication is already there. Authentication is your pre-shared key. You put your subnet. Then the next thing you click on next. And then it will show you the summary of everything. So the wizard is ready if you are using the quick setup. Once you do this, the wizard is ready. It gives you a summary of what is available, what the system already. You are not the one who put all the pre-share key, all these things, the transform set. All these transform set are already in this quick setup. They are already designated. So you are just using what is available. The IKE policies are already there. You are just using what is available, okay, in the quick setup. But if you want your own setup, you go through the step by step. If you don't want what is already there, you go through that. So when you click quick setup, it means you are ready to use what is available. Is that okay? Now you click finish. Once you reach here, you click finish. Okay, then now let's go to the second one, which is the step-by-step setup for the wizard. Now here we have multiple steps. We say multiple steps are required to configure the VPN connections here. The first is we define the connection setting. What are the connection settings? You have to define the outside interface that this particular traffic will go through, will go out from, or go through to enter the tunnel. You have to define the peer address, which router will pair with which router. You have to define them by yourself, like we've discussed when we started. You have to define the authentication credentials, like the pre-share or whatever you are using. You have to define them. You have to define the hash algorithm, the authentication algorithm. You have to define by yourself. So all these falls under the connection settings that you're going to do. Then the next is to define the IKE proposals or the IKE policies. Like your priority, you have to define which priority, the encryption algorithm, the hash mark, the hash, the authentication type, okay, whether you're going to use pre-share, the DFA, Hellman group, the G group, the lifetime, all of this is defined. All these are IKE proposals or IKE policies. Then the next is you define your IPsec, with IP means Internet Protocol Security. IPsec, transform sec, you have to define them, like your encryption algorithm also, the hash mark, the hash mark, mode of operation and compression. All these fall under your IPsec transform set. Then you also have to define your traffic to protect. Which traffic are you going to protect? Are you going to, is it going to be like single source, destination subnet, your ACL? You have to define all of this if you are doing step by step by yourself. So reviewing and completing the configuration, you have to do a review and complete your configuration. So these are about like 5 steps that you're going to go through if you are doing step by step. Now we're going to go through them. Now let's start looking at the step by step, and these 5 steps that we're going to go through. The first one is the connection setting. Okay, first of all, we put our serial 0/0/0. That's our first step. We select the interface for this VPN connection. That's the first thing. The next is the peer identity. We select the peer, which IP is going to pair with, or which router is going to pair with. We say the pair with static IP address. We enter the IP address of what is going to pair with as our next step. The third step, we enter the pre-share key. See, we click on the pre-share key. If not, then we go to digital certificate. Okay, use pre-share key or digital certificate. Here we talk about RSA certificate and so on and so forth. So, but in this case, we are using the pre-shared keys, and then we put the pre-shared key, the password, we put it here, and then we go to next. This is the connection setting yet. Okay, we've not started the IKE proposals and the IPsec transform set and so on and so forth. So you're going to do everything manually by yourself in this one. Now the next one is to go to configure the IKE proposals. Now under the IKE proposals, remember the IKE proposal, they specify the type of algorithm, the encryption you're going to use, the encryption algorithm you're going to use, the authentication algorithm you're going to use, the key exchange method that you're going to use. All of these and many more will fall under the IKE proposals, okay? The VPN and so on and so forth, all fall under the IKE proposal or IKE policies. Now here, the priority, you define the priorities. It all falls under the IKE proposals or priority. So we define priority, we say priority 2. We define our encryption and authentication. We say we're using pre-share, we're not using RSA certificate or RSA whatever. We're using pre-shared key. We define our encryption. Remember the quick setup, we don't define all of this. All these are already in the system by default. So here we have to select. You click here, you select. Are you using advanced encryption standard, or you are using data DES, data encryption standard? So in this case, we select the advanced encryption standard 255 bit, 256 bit. So we select. one of the Diffie-Hellman group, we select group 5. There's group 2, there's group 1. So whichever group you want to use between the two tunnel, for the tunnel to use between the two routers, you select group 5. Then the hash algorithm you're using. Here we are selecting SHA-1, there's SHA-2, there's SHA-7, select SHA-1. In this case, we're using SHA-1. Okay. The lifetime 24 hours. You can see hours, minutes, and seconds. Here we're selecting 24 hours, minutes is 0, seconds is 0. Remember, 24 hours means the value we talked about. When we say it's 86,000. Don't say, oh, this is not what we talked in our previous chapter. 86, in the previous chapter we were mentioning about 86,400 seconds. So this 86,400 seconds is actually referring to 24 hours, 1 day. It's referring to 1 day, 24 hours. Okay, so it's the same thing. That's what we define. The lifetime, we define it to be 24 hours for this tunnel to last between these two routers. Okay, so throughout the day, the tunnel is available for these two routers to send things through the internet, and the things will be protected through a public internet, even if it's a corporate organization. So they can send their data or their traffic through the internet, and this traffic will be protected through the internet. It will not be available to any unauthorized user. Step 3 is to click next. After we configure the IPsec proposals, we go to next. The next is to configure the transform set. Under the transform set, first of all we click on add. Once you go to the wizard transform set, then you click add. Once you click on add, what are you going to add? You say add transform set. You put your encapsulated security payload, that's what we are selecting, and that's the protocol we are selecting under the transfer set, and we are using the advanced encryption standard 256-bit, and the algorithm is SHA-1. So you can see we've defined the transform set. And then the integrity algorithm is same. The integrity algorithm, we're using the encapsulated security payload SHA-HMAC. And then the encryption algorithm, we're using the same thing we've talked about here. Okay, so, and then the next step is to click OK. Once you click OK, but before you click OK, what the mode? Which mode are you using? Transport mode or tunnel? We're using tunnel. Right? You click on the tunnel. Don't always forget to define your tunnel. There's the two modes that are available is the tunnel or the transport. If you click transport, that means you only encrypted data only, okay, over the public internet. But if you click on tunnel, you are encrypting your data and the IP header. You are encrypting your data, both your data and the IP header. So you protect everything you are sending through there. So it's always advisable because VPN is with tunnel, so to use the tunnel one. You click on the tunnel and then you move to the next. Then we go to defining the source and destination subnet. So here, after you click on traffic to protect, what is the traffic you want to protect? Why are you sending your traffic through a public network, which is the internet, and then you obviously you want to protect it? That's where VPN comes in, virtual private network. So which traffic do you want to protect? Which traffic? Say protect all the traffic between the following subnets. Your local area network, which is your source address. You put the IP address of the source, 10.1.1.0. You put the subnet mask 255.255.255.0 or /24. Like I told you, you can use /24. You can use 24, or you put the subnet like this in this manner. Then the destination. This is the destination address. You put the 10.1.2.0, and then you put the subnet or /24. Then the next is to click next. Click next. Once you put the source and destination address of the traffic that you want to protect. The next thing you click next. Then the next thing you want to define again when you are configuring the VPN and the side-to-side VPN. The next thing to define again is you define the trusted traffic. Here, the trusted traffic is to create or select the access list. Access list for the IPsec traffic. Remember, the access list for IPsec traffic. So you select an existing one, you have options. Either you select the existing ACL, or you create a new rule ACL and select. So the people, they do both. They select the existing one, they also create new rules. Okay, and then you click next. Now, if step one, like we said, step one is to you create or select the access list. So once you click this page will open. Then you put the name proxy identity one. Okay, then you say ACL describing proxy identity for site-to-site VPN connections. So you keep that, and then you click add. After you've done that, you click add. You select the proxy. That's your first step. You give like the name or number. You give it a name, the ACL. Okay, add an ACL. This one is you are adding. Remember, I said you can either you normally we use both. You select the existing ACL here. Once you click on it, then all will come by default. You also create new rules for ACL. So once you click on that to create and select access list for IPsec, that's when this page will open. So you create new rule. You select the access ACL describing the proxy identity for site-to-site VPN connection one, and then you click add. Okay. Then we move to the next one. Now configuring a new ACL rule entry. You put first number one, select the action, protect traffic. That's the action. You want it to protect the traffic. You want the ACL to protect the traffic, and then you put the source address. What type is a network? You have to protect a network. IP address, put the IP address of the network. 10.1.1.0. You put the wildcard mask 0.0.0.255. Then for the destination where it's going to, you put what you want to protect is a network. Put the IP address 10.1.2.0. Put the mask 0.0.0.255. And then the protocol and service, is it TCP or UDP? In this case, it's IP address we are protecting. You click IP address, okay, for the header. Put the IP address for the packet, okay. So the protocol is IP, then you click OK. Then we'll move on to the next. Then the review of generated configuration will be shown to you, everything that you've done. This one, the review of the one you've created. Now you have the one you've created and the one that the system already has. See, there are two now. SHA, Group 5, pre-share, advanced encryption standard. I think this is the one we created, and this is the one the system already has. Because you say you want to use both. You made both available. This is the transport set that you've created. The mode is tunnel. See, the mode, you selected tunnel. The mode is tunnel, and then you click finish. These are the serial interface, the wizard initiation and everything, the IP, IKE and everything. And this is the transport set. This is the IKE policies, and this is the connection, the connectivity you created. Okay, this is the connectivity you created, the connection setting. This is the connection. This is the connection setting. Okay, this is the connection setting. Because there are 5 steps. Okay, connection setting. This is the IKE policies that you created. This is the transfer set you created, and so on and so forth. Then you click finish. Okay, now let's go to how to test the tunnel. You created a tunnel, right? Test tunnel configuration operation. When we are testing tunnel, these are the things. We click on configure, we go to security, other security, we see VPN. You click on VPN. Okay, once you click VPN, you click on site-to-site VPN. But we have easy access VPN. But in this case, we are talking about site-to-site VPN. Click on VPN. You can see create, edit. Now click. After you click on VPN, you click on edit site-to-site VPN. You can see the status is down. See, here you can check the VPN status. If it's up, if it's down. Destination, tunnel to 200 dollars. It tells you where it's going. It tells you the IPsec policies. It tells you everything. Here, test tunnel. You click here to test the tunnel. Test the VPN configuration through here. And here is to generate the mirror. Create a mirror configuration if the CCP is available on the PS. Create the mirror using this one. Okay. Now let's go to test tunnel configuration operation. See on that. See, this is what the result you get when you click on the test tunnel. Okay, these are the results you get. So what first is In this case, when you want to test the tunnel, you go to monitor. Okay, you say click on monitor, go to security, select in security, select VPN status. Select VPN status. VPN status. Then click on IPsec tunnel. When you click on VPN status, then you click on IPsec tunnel. Click on IPsec tunnel, this one. Click on IPsec tunnel, which is here. Click on IPsec tunnel. Once you do that, all this will display. All this one, the local IP, remote IP, all the addresses, everything. The tunnel status, if it's down, it tell you it's down, and so on and so forth. Display all of this. Now let's go to remote. That's all for the site-to-site VPN. Now let's quickly look at the remote access VPN. Okay. Now remote access VPN has some benefits. One is good for teleworking. You can work from home. You can use it to work from home once it's created, and it has a lot of benefits. Now let's take a look at the benefit to the organizational benefit, social benefit, and the environmental benefit. To the organization, continuity of operation. Even if you're not in the office, you can work from a house. You can work in your car when you are on the road. It has a continuity of job. You are in the aeroplane, you can be working. Increase responsiveness, you can respond anywhere you are, so it increases responsiveness. Secure, reliable, and manageable access to information, and these are benefits you get, and cost-effective integration of data, voice, video, and application. Increase employee productivity because you can work from anywhere and everywhere, and satisfaction and retention. So people can work from anywhere, everywhere if we use the remote access VPN, unlike the site-to-site. Site-to-site VPN meaning you have to be in the office, because only your computers in the office are configured to carry the data through the internet using the private virtual network. So, okay, that's the site-to-site. Only the computer from the office you can use. But remote access, they can be configured in your system, and you can work with your laptop everywhere, which connect from the office. Okay. The social benefit increase employees' opportunity for marginalized group. It also has less travel and commuter-related stress. All the stress, money jam, hold-ups, all these are taken off because you can work from home. The environment. What benefit does it as a remote access VPN has on the environment? Reduce the carbon footprint both for the individual workers and the organization. Now let's briefly look at the remote access solution. There are two primary methods of deploying the remote access VPN. One is the IPsec-based remote access. The other one is the SSL-based remote access. So there are two ways of deploying them. One is the IPsec-based one, remote access. The other one is the SSL-based remote access. Okay. So both of them can be used. IPsec remote access VPN, you can use it on any application, whereas SSL-based VPN, anywhere access is anywhere access. You are at home, you are in the car, you are in the train, you can use this SSL-based one. The IPsec-based one, they are used on any application that has been configured with it. Okay, now let's take a look at the difference between the remote access solutions, both the SSL type or the IPsec type. Like we said, there are two ways of configuring the remote access. Either we use the SSL way or we use the IPsec way. And now, let's take a look at the application. Let's compare them based on these subheadings: applications, encryption, authentication, ease of use, and overall security. Now, on applications, the SSL-based is a web-enabled application for file sharing, email, and so on and so forth. While the IPsec, they are all IP-based application. Because from the name IPsec, they are all IP-based application. SSL is a web-based application. Other encryption, the encryption for SSL is moderate. The key length from 40 bits to 128 bits, whereas the IPsec one must be stronger. The key length is from 56 bits to 256 bits. Then authentication, for SSL, even a moderate authentication is enough. Either a one-way or a two-way authentication is enough. But for IPsec, must be strong. two-way authentication using the share secret or digital certificate must be used. Then on ease of use, SSL very high because you can use it anywhere and everywhere. It's very ease of use is very flexible. For IPsec, it's moderate. It's not that flexible. It can be challenging to non-technical users. So if you are not a technical user, the IPsec method may be challenging. Okay. Then on overall security, SSL one is moderate. Any device can connect, while the IPsec is strong. Only specific device with specific configuration can connect. Now let's take a look at SSL VPN. SSL VPN includes integrated security and routing and browser-based full network SSL VPN. Now let's take a look at this figure. Here, this is the tunnel you've created with all your IPsec, IKEs, policy keys, and IPsec transform set. Once you do those things, you created a tunnel over there, internet, public internet. Then the SSL VPN tunnel helps to carry this whatever from this remote area to the corporate headquarters and so on and so forth. So SSL means you can work from house using the SSL VPN tunnel. Means you can work from house even when you are not in the office, or you are in the office to the headquarters, or from your house to the headquarters. Now let's take a look at the clientness, thin client, and full client. So here you have the client-based SSL IPsec VPN. That's from the remote area or corporate managed computer to the headquarters. And you have the clientless, like your supply partner. And you also have a clientless, like the public terminals, which is the corporate office. And you have a client base that is the employees at home, working from the house to reach their major office. So these are the client and clientless availability we have using the SSL VPN. Now these are establishing SSL section. First and foremost, the user makes a connection to the TCP port 443. Okay, then there will be a response. The router replies with a digital signed public key to the user, and then the user user software creates a shared secret key. So once you get a response from the router, then your software, the user software, will quickly create a public key, and this public key or secret key will be sent to the router. Shared secret key encrypted with public key of the router is sent to the router. So you send it to the router, and then there will be a bulk encryption that exists between both of them using the shared secret key with symmetric encryption algorithm between the user and the router. Okay, so now let's take a look at Cisco EasyVPN. Cisco have what we call the EasyVPN. Okay, here is the EasyVPN. This is the IPsec tunnel, and this is the corporate headquarters. Okay, the EasyVPN negotiate the tunnel parameters on your behalf, establish the tunnel according to the set parameter, authenticate user by username, group name, or password, manages the secret key and encryption and decryption, authenticate, encrypt, and decrypt the data through the tunnel. So it does all of this. Now let's say EasyVPN. Good example is Cisco EasyVPN server. So we have the EasyVPN server. A good example is the Cisco PIX or ASA firewalls acting as the VPN head-on device. Okay, a head-on device can act as the server. Then we have Cisco EasyVPN remote, a Cisco iOS router or Cisco PIX ASA firewalls acting as remote VPN client. Then we have the Cisco EasyVPN client. So we have the server, the remote, and the client. Okay. Now, the Cisco EasyVPN exchange. First, the user initiates IKE phase 1, and then also establish ISA KMP SAs, security associations. Once it does these two things, then the server or the router accept the proposal. And then once the proposal is accepted, then there will be username and password created for both of them to recognize, for both the user and the VPN server to recognize. And then after that, the system parameter is pushed to the user. And then the reverse route injection is also added, and then both of them initiate IKE phase 2 IPsec transfer set, okay, between both of them. Now let's go to configure Easy VPN server. Now on the server, how to configure the Easy VPN server. The configuration always takes the same way, same method. So the first thing we click on configure, then we go to security. Under security, we select VPN. Okay. Under VPN, we go to Easy VPN. When you click VPN, you create Easy VPN. Then you click on create Easy VPN. Create Easy VPN. Then you launch. You click on launch. Okay, after that, you go to the interface. Now you work on the wizard interface, the authentication and so on and so on. So the serial interface 0/0/0, you key in there. Then you select pre-share key, digital certificate, or both. We are using pre-share key for our authentication. So you click on pre-share key. And then you go click on next. Then we define our IKE proposals. Our IKE proposals, we're going to define them. The priority to select to authentication, we use pre-share key. The encryption, we use a advanced encryption standard 256-bit. The DH group, you select group 5. The hash, you select SHA-1. And then the lifetime, you select 24. All these parameters are your IKE proposals. Okay, you define all of them. Before we now go to pre-share transform set, define your IKE proposals. Then the next thing, you go to your configure your transform set. Okay, you click on add. Once you click on add, then you add your encryption, encapsulated security payload, advanced encryption standard, 256-bit SHA, and so on and so forth. So this is your transfer set. You put under your integrity algorithm, you put the algorithm. The algorithm is this one. Okay, then encryption algorithm. Integrity, remember integrity algorithm means the hash. You see, encapsulated security payload, hash, H mark. The encryption algorithm is encapsulated because this is a protocol, it goes together for the transfer set. ESP, advanced encryption standard 256. So you select your hash and your encryption. This integrity means hash, okay? The hash algorithm that you are using is called your integrity. So this is your hash function or hash algorithm for your security, for cyber security. Okay, then for the encryption, you select this, and then the next is to also click on next. Then after that, we configure the VPN authentication method list. Click on local and click next, and then when we configure the VPN authentication group policies. Other that, you can create the group name, maybe marketing. Maybe this one you're doing for marketing or engineering or sales, whatever. You put it here, and then you enter the pre-share key and re-enter it again second time. You put the source IP address, then end the IP address, the starting IP address, the ending IP address. Okay, like source and destination. That's what it means. And then you put your subnet mask, and then you click next. So the summary will be displayed. Your connection that you created is here. Your IKE policies are here. Your transfer sets here. And your authentications and your source and destination, your method, authentication method, everything displayed here. And there you see. Now let's go to edit Easy VPN server. How do you edit? So when we want to edit, we click on configure, then we go to security, we click on VPN, click on Easy VPN there. When you click on Easy VPN, you either have create Easy VPN server or edit Easy VPN server. So we click on edit Easy VPN server. You see all this will be displayed. Anything that is not what we want, we can now edit. Okay, here is respond. Okay, so we have edited. Before it was down. So you edit. Whatever you want to change, you edit. So you can edit your server information. There we click on next. Now, Easy VPN server test. We want to test You click on the test, VPN troubleshooting. See, when you click on test the server, then you can see that interface status is successful, checking the configuration is successful, checking NAT is successful, checking firewall is successful. So then connecting using the client. Using the client, you put the username and the password, Cisco password, click OK. When you click OK and you see the status is connected, it means that the authentication is successful. Once you see the status is connected here, it means the authentication is successful. If not, this one will fail. It will not tell you successful. So that's all we have for our today's class. Thank you for joining us in Waidsum University.